Hi, welcome to Moonbeam's Messages. This is a Leo collective reading. This is your self-reflection reading. Today is the 7th of September when I'm recording this, but it's a timeless reading, so whenever it falls into your feed is whenever it's likely to be relevant to yourself. If you don't find any messages in this reading, then please check your other placements. You're likely to find a message in there for you. Now, this reading should include your past, present and your future because it is a self-reflection. Now, if you've never been to one of my self-reflection readings before, the idea behind them is every now and then we've got a bit of inner healing work to do and we don't know where to look. So this is simply a nudge from spirit to let you know where it is that you potentially need to work on. Right, if you do like your reading today, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. It will help pass the message on to anybody else that needs to hear it. And if you want to hear more from me, then don't forget to hit that subscription if you haven't already. And if you press the notification bell, it will let you know whenever I do load new content. Right, so let's get into the reading for you. Spirit, can we get some cards, please, for Leo and their current self-reflection? Let me get some cards for Leo and their self-reflection, please, Spirit. Too many cards at once. One card at a time, please. I'll take two, but I'm not taking any more than two. So keep it to one or two, please, Spirit. Far too many. No, I'm not taking four, Spirit. Don't care how many times you're going to chuck more than two cards out. I'm only taking one or two. I'm sure you can find a card in all of these that will represent most of them. Okay, we'll take those two. Okay, so your overall energy, we have a 2 of gems. Now that 2 of gems is telling me that you're trying to balance things out. In the traditional tarot, that would be the 2 of Pentacles. I'm using the Dark Crystal deck. I had it for my birthday. I'm absolutely in love with it. So the suits are all a little bit different. But yeah, I think they're really pretty. So yeah, so the 2 of gems then. So very much you are trying to balance out things. Potentially, you know, financially, you may have multiple jobs. This is very much you balancing well and multitasking. Sometimes it could be that you may be doing a little bit too much and it could be that you're just toppling out of balance. But I don't think this one here. I think this is very much you being in balance and mastering multitasking at the moment. Potentially balancing yourself out quite nicely. You may be needing to make a choice out of 2 things that you feel actually you like both options, and this could very much be representing that choice at the moment. Now, how you're talking to yourself, we have the Moon card. So you are potentially telling yourself that there's a lot of things that are currently hidden from you. You could even be having a fear of the unknown. Let's get some clarification on this Moon card. It is very much that you're telling yourself everything's hidden, that maybe somebody isn't being completely honest with you. It could very well be that you're hiding things from yourself as well. But yeah, definitely fearing the unknown. Let's get clarification on this Moon, please, Spirit. Okay, so we have a Page of Junk, we have a 2 of Feathers, and we have a King of Junk. I'm using my Labyrinth deck to clarify, just to make it nice and confusing for everyone. So no normal stone, no normal pentacles, wands, you know, swords and Cups. We're going to go for completely random things. So we've got Page of Junk then. So that Page of Junk would traditionally be the Page of Pentacles. This is telling me that you want to learn something, or you want something to start. You want a new start. You're telling yourself that you're starting something new that is going to be abundant, and that you're a little bit unskilled, potentially a little bit emotionally immature, or you don't have the skill set yet and you're trying to learn those skills. We've got a Two of Feathers in the reverse, so very much making a decision. It's like you're at the crossroads with those Two of Feathers. That's the Two of Swords, and you've got a decision to make. Now, it's very much suggesting to me that you're not really thinking clearly on it. You don't feel like you've got the time and the space to think about it and make that decision. And you're not really including other people in that decision. That could be very well why you feel like things are being hidden from you. Maybe you don't have the clarity you need to make the decision with regards to this new start that you're seeking. Now, we do also have a King of Junk. Now, that King of Junk is in the reverse. I absolutely love this card. If you've ever watched The Labyrinth and you like the little caterpillar that goes, hello, I love it. It's definitely my favourite card of the deck. I love it. But yeah, so this King of Junk, King of Pentacles, he's in the reverse. So it's like you're telling yourself you need a new start, but you don't have the clarity. You can't see a way forward. And with the King of Junk, you don't feel stable with making that new start. It's like you feel like you don't have the stability, potentially the skill required. Now, the Page of Junk is very much, like I say, somebody that is looking for skills. The King of Junk is still very skillful. He's very good in his field, but he can very much... So he's very good at earning money, but he can't keep hold of it. And it's like you're trying to make a decision with regards to something that's going to potentially affect your finances, but you don't have the clarity of the situation. It could even be that maybe what you're looking to do, or what you're taking steps to do, could be something that may not be 100% ethical, because the King of Junk in the reverse can also be earning money in a non-ethical way. Now, that could just be simply be doing things like, trying to think of something unethical. You know, I'm not going to go there, and it could be illegally making money. I'm going to guess that most of you probably aren't doing that. It could very well be that unethical could just be something like, I don't know, maybe you open up an OnlyFans page. Is that what it's called? OnlyFans? I don't know. You know, some people will see that as unethical. It could be just unconventional. It could be maybe you are turning a hobby that people don't see as something mainstream into money. And it could be that you're having to learn skills to get yourself there. And you're having to make quick decisions on whether or not you want to move into that, and you can't see whether or not it will actually benefit you. It could very well be that, I don't know, maybe, I'm trying to think of other ways. It could maybe I can't even talk now. Good God, I can't even communicate. So another unethical way of making money is something where you don't necessarily declare your taxes on it. You know, if you're self-employed in the UK, you have to fill in self-employed declaration forms. Maybe you're doing something that would earn you a load of money and you're not filling in your tax forms or declaring that you're self-employed. You know, that sort of thing is all unethical. So it could very well be that, you know, you've got a decision to make with regards to your stability and something that you either have been doing or haven't been doing. It could be that you are feeling unskilled, or you don't have enough clarity or enough knowledge on a situation because you're in the dark, and it's making you feel unstable. I think it's more to do with your stability than anything, but that stability to me for yourself is to do with money. So I'm not 100% sure why, well, with, you know, what's going on, or whether you're in debt, or whether it's just that, you know, you've got a new job that is making you feel a bit unstable. I don't know. Obviously, it will all be different to each of you, but you definitely don't feel like you've got the clarity enough to make a decision, and it's definitely making you feel out of touch and unstable. That decision could even be making you feel like you're not doing things in the correct way. Now, what you're hiding from yourself out of fear or shame, we have a Knight of Gems in the reverse and a Judgment card in the reverse. Now, that Knight of Gems is very much somebody that can't commit to a relationship, can't take the next steps. Something where they are very much wanting a lot of passion, but when it actually comes to the emotional side of things, they don't want to share emotions. They're a little bit emotionally naive, emotionally stuck, and don't want to move a relationship forward. We also have a Judgment card, which does suggest that you may have had some sort of enlightenment. Something's come to the forefront and you're actually not wanting to act on it. So whether or not you understand why it is that you don't want to move forward, or you understand what it is that has caused you to feel like that and you don't want to heal it within yourself. It could be some other kind of enlightenment that you've had, but it's very much that you've had that wake-up call and you're just hiding from the truth, or you're not accepting responsibility behind something. It's very much that you're hiding from it, and that could be something that you're fully aware of, because you're hiding from it and you're just not wanting to act on that. You're not wanting to make a final decision. You're just completely burying your head in the sand. Now, that's something that you could be feeling very ashamed of. It could be that you're fearing an outcome that would come from you actually acting on this and making a decision. Now, whether that's something where in the past you've, not committed, maybe you've been obsessed with yourself, because this can also be very much self-obsession, very, a lot of vanity. Potentially you don't even trust your own emotions. Whether that's yourself, it could be that you've experienced that at the hands of someone else. But it is very much suggesting that you know how to deal with this and how to heal from this, but you're scared to. And where I'm seeing the shame coming in, what you're ashamed of is potentially that this could be you, and you're ashamed that is you, but you're not wanting to fix it. You don't want to work on it. You don't want to. It's like you're ashamed to look at it, to deal with it. Let's get some clarification on this Knight of Gems and the Judgment card, please, Spirit. So we've got an Ace of Junk in the upright, so that's the equivalent of an Ace of Pentacles. So it is something where you want to have a new abundant start, but you're scared of it. We have a Tower, and that's coming out to the side. So part of what you're afraid to face is change itself, and you find that change is extremely challenging. Fear, looking at what the issues are and dealing with them is massively challenging for you. The Tower represents change. It can be an ending to a relationship. When it's in the upright, it can just be an end of a belief system. It can be an end to a personality trait, a thought process. It's something big, something. It basically shakes you to the core, and you have to reevaluate so you can rebuild better. This is suggesting that that judgment call, something that you're aware of, you're struggling to work on it. You don't necessarily want to face it, and that is causing you a big issue. You're stuck in that tower moment. It hasn't all fallen down yet. You haven't got to the bottom of the tower in order to start restoring things. You are very much holding off the inevitable. Now, this is something to do with this Knight of Gems and that judgment, potentially to do with a new abundant start. But it's very much a belief, and I believe this is something to do with potentially why it is that you're not able to commit to a relationship, possibly why you're so vain, if you are vain, why you're self-obsessed. You know, this could be very much you having to look at that and deal with that and own that that is what you know what you have done, and then learn how to work with it and not necessarily do that in a relationship, so you're able to move forward and have that commitment. You do have a Two of Junk as well, which again is the Two of Gems. So, you know, you want to be successful, you want to have a balanced life. Now, this one isn't suggesting to me about the same. It's not suggesting that you've got to make a choice. Oh, I mean, it can very well be that you've still got a choice to make, and either way is going to be happy outcome for yourself. But I don't think it is. I think this is very much you needing to balance yourself out properly, but that tower needs to come down in order for you to find balance. Because you go from the Ace of Junk to the Two of Junk, then you get three, you know, you travel all the way up to your Ten of Junk, which is happy, home, legacy, and onwards. But yeah, to me, this is very much that in order to progress and have that new start and move forward, you need to have that tower moment. You need to be addressing this, but you're scared of it, or you're ashamed of a new start. Maybe you are just ashamed of how things have happened in the past, and you don't want people to know. You don't want to let people in and know what you've been doing or what's happened to you. But like I say, it could just be that you're very scared of it. You're very scared of a new start. You're scared of facing this judgment. You're scared of facing your truths. You're scared of making a decision and balancing yourself out. Now, what healing is currently available to you? We have this Page of Swords. Now, that Page of Swords is in the reverse. Now, this is suggesting that you need to complete some sort of learning. And I've got a feeling that it's to do with this. You need to complete. So it's like you know there's a lesson to be learned, and you need to finish learning that lesson. And the Page of Stones can be somebody that does jump to conclusions quickly. So you need to make sure that you're not jumping to conclusions while you're finishing off learning that lesson. Just want to clarify, in this deck, the stones are the swords, which is a bit weird because stones are earth, but they're weapons in the dark crystal, so that's why gems are the pentacles. But yeah, so yeah, that Page of Stones is very much, you know, completing some sort of training, completing some sort of lesson. Now, when the Page of Stones is in the upright, you can be somebody that is trying to find information out. This is suggesting that, you know, you don't need to do that. So if you're sitting in the dark here and you feel like you haven't got enough information, this is telling me you don't need any more information. It can be the Page of Stones. A lot of tarot readers will say is the spy of the deck. So if it's something where you're sitting watching somebody, trying to find out what they're up to, this is suggesting that you stop doing that and concentrate on yourself. Very much you looking for clues. So we've got an 8 of feathers. What else do we get to clarify this Page of Stones? Page of Poles in the reverse. And a 4 of junk. Okay, so a little bit odd. It's telling you that you need to think things through. So the Eight of Feathers is like the Eight of Swords. Now, that can very much be, okay, it's facing your fears. You know, you might feel like you're being, you may feel like you're being trapped, but you haven't finished learning your lesson. Your lesson is very much to do with fear and being trapped, being isolated, being stuck in your own head. We have a Page of Poles, so there's something to do with loyalty there as well. Again, feeling boxed in and like you're being held back. The Page of Poles, when he's in the reverse, is somebody that's not very loyal. So this is something to do with a lesson that you need to learn. It's something to do with feeling boxed in, feeling like you're being held back, feeling like somebody is keeping you down, holding you back from things that you want. At the end of the day, the only person that can hold you back from anything is yourself. And it's very much like you need to finish learning that lesson. Now we do have a Four of Pentacles, which is very much, Four of Junk, the Four of Pentacles. That's very much you holding on really tight to something. Now that can be finances, so stability, learning about your stability. But it can also be you holding on to other things. Now this is telling me that part of the lesson is that you need to learn to hold on to things that are good for you and what's good for you. Potentially you even need to learn to hold on to your money and your finances too. But yeah, it's very much suggesting to me that you need to learn to come out of your own head. This Eight of Feathers can be a bit of depression, overthinking, being stuck in your own head. But you're only stuck in your head. Your feet are still free to walk wherever you want. And you're only as stuck as you put yourself there. It is a temporary thing, and it is just the illusion of being stuck and being held back and being trapped. It is literally an illusion. And it's very much that you need to realise that this illusion of being trapped is in your own head. It's not somebody else doing it to you. People aren't doing that to you. You're doing it to yourself. Very much this Page of Poles. Now, it can be that you've lost a bit of passion in something, and that could be, again, why you're feeling stuck. But the Page of Poles feels like he's being held back by other people, and so he doesn't have that drive to move forward because he's like, what's the point? Nobody will let me, and it's very much that you're doing that to yourself. So you're not going towards what you want because you're telling yourself you can't, or you're telling yourself that you're stuck, and it's not letting you hold on to what you want to. It's you potentially are letting a lot of things go, or that you want to hold on to, or because you feel like you can't have them because you feel like people are holding you back from having what it is that you want. Now, in what you need to release, we have a Death card and we have an Ace of Shards in the reverse. So what you need to release is an ending. The Death card is something coming to an end. So either you need to release something, an ending that you're still holding on to, or you need to release the idea that something has ended. The Death card can also be representing transitions. So it could be that you're holding on really tightly to something, so you've not done that transition yet, which very likely is to do with this Tower, this Judgment card. So it could be very much that you're delaying some sort of change, some sort of transition within yourself. The Ace of Shards is the Ace of Wands. So that's suggesting to me that you may be lacking passion in something. Maybe you have lost the lust for life. It could be that you feel like there isn't enough of a spark in something, and this is telling you, okay, well, release it. Release whatever that ending is. Release whatever this lack of passion is. Stop holding on to it. Stop, being trapped in it. Clarify this death and this Ace of Shards, please, Spirit. No, that's half a deck. I don't want half a deck, Spirit. One more, please. Okay, so we have a 5 of Wands that's come out to the side. Sorry, 5 of Poles. So potentially you've had a bit of conflict in the past, a bit of competition. This is suggesting that it may be a bit of a challenge, but you need to release that. Maybe you've felt like you've been in a bit of a rivalry. It can also be that you need to cooperate with somebody, and that could be a bit of a challenge. And it's suggesting that you release the competition and actually have some, cooperation instead. We have a 10 of Wands in the reverse. So that is very much releasing a burden that you've been holding on to. Sometimes, it could very well be that your passion, with this 10 of Wands in the reverse, sometimes it suggests that, passions that you've had it's gone out of control, and it's time to release that. And it could very well be that you've had a lot of passion that is for something or for many things, and it's just completely got out of control to the point that you've then lost all passion in things because you've overwhelmed yourself. And that could be why you've got both the 10 of Wands and the Ace of Wands showing up there in the reverse. Having a lot of passion and no passion, gone from going at 150 miles an hour to then all of a sudden you've lost that energy, you've lost that fire, you've lost that drive because you've gone after something or many things too much all at once, and it's completely overwhelmed you. So this is suggesting that you let that go, go for one thing at a time, not necessarily going after so much, having so much passionate energy. It's great to have passionate energy, but too much at once can cause burnout, kind of thing. This is also suggesting that if you have dropped your responsibilities for certain things, you need to release that, and because there's certain things you can't drop responsibilities on. The 10 of Wands can be very much somebody just saying, I'm not doing anything anymore, and releasing every responsibility that they can possibly have and just taking it easy. But that's suggesting that actually you do need to keep a hold of certain responsibilities that you may be having as well. Now we also have a Queen of Junk in the reverse, so that's the Queen of Pentacles. This is something where it's suggesting that you may have been disinterested in domestic affairs, potentially family. This could also be that you've been a bit bad with money, and this again is something that you need to release. So potentially coming out of that, if it's something where you've been disinterested in family, this is very much reintegrating yourself in your family, finding the passion and the drive in that again. Potentially this can be very much you embracing finances. Here again with the healing we had was holding on to money, onto stability. This can be very much you have releasing that energy of spending everything that you've got so you can become more stable. Now in what you need to embrace, we have an 8 of Stones and we have a Knight of Stones. So very much again that 8 of Swords, so that's come up twice for you. So the 8 of Swords, so something that you thinking that you need to do, getting clarity on a situation, your clarity though, realizing what it is that you want, being not necessarily, like I say, it's not being stuck in the head, realizing that you can still move forward, having that illusion of being stuck. You need to embrace that it is just an illusion. You very much need to realize and embrace that it is just an illusion of being trapped. You're not actually trapped. It can literally just be fear that is paralyzing you. So yeah, okay, you might be scared, but embrace that you're scared. The Moon card down here as well is very much fear. So you've got a lot of fear all over this reading. You've also got some reoccurring numbers. So if you do see reoccurring numbers out there, you know, check your angel numbers to see if spirits have got any messages from you. We've got 222. We've got, where is it? An ace and an ace. We've got an 8 and an 8. We've got, I'm pretty sure there's another 10. I'm sure there's a 10 there, and I'm pretty sure there was another 10. Maybe I'm going mad on the 10s. But either way, you've still got a few reoccurring numbers. So usually that means you're on the right path. And it just, sometimes Spirit's just got a message for you to give you a bit of a nudge to keep you on that right path. But yeah, let's get some clarification of this 8 of Swords. So the Knight of 8 of Stones. The Knight of Stones there in the reverse is very much telling me that you need to make sure that you are not jumping to conclusions. This is very much embracing the fact that you don't have to make up your mind just yet. There's no reason for you to make up your mind. It's very much being indecisive. It's okay to be indecisive. There's no time limit on you making up your mind. Here, it's telling me that you're being rushed into a decision, you know, or you feel rushed into a decision. This is saying you don't have to feel rushed. You can take your time in making up your mind. There is no need to rush. It is suggesting, though, that you do need to keep any hostile intents to yourself because they are not going to serve your best interests. Let's get some clarification on this 8 of Swords and Knight of Stones, please. 8 of Stones. Oh, I don't know. I'm going all mad. Right, so we have the 6 of Cups. We have the Fate card in the reverse. And we have the 7 of Swords in the reverse. Okay, so embracing then. Embracing letting everything out on the table. So if there's been things that have been kept in the secret in the past, if there have been things that have been kept in the dark, secrets that have been kept from somebody or somebody keeping secrets from you, this is suggesting that you need to embrace the need for them to come out into the open. You need to embrace that need to have the clarity. This could even be things that you've been keeping from yourself. This is definitely suggesting to me that you need to let yourself know your own truths. And if there's anybody else that you've kept things from, this is very much telling you to communicate with them. Embrace that communication and embrace coming out in the clean. Generally, a lot of that can be so that they can have the opportunity to forgive you, and you'll give yourself the opportunity to forgive yourself as well. It's also very much, you know, striking fair deals with people, not being underhanded, and just telling somebody what it is you want. So not doing things in secret. We have the Fate card, which is pretty much the Death card. So again, embracing that transition. It can be that you're currently holding on to something as well and you haven't let it go yet. This is suggesting that you are delaying an ending, so you do need to embrace the ending of something. What that is, I'm not 100% sure, but I have got a very big feeling it is to do with fear, the unknown, potentially blaming somebody or blaming other people for you feeling stuck, blaming other people for you feeling like you can't move forward, because this is all an illusion in your head. Blaming other people for you not getting what you wanted, because again, it's all an illusion in your head. So if it's something where you've been, you know, blaming people for holding you back on certain things, blaming people for, you know, if you very much have that victim mentality, it's very much suggesting that actually a good chunk of that could very well be in your head, and it's accepting the Tower. It's accepting your Tower moment and whatever this Judgment card represents for you, whatever this awakening could be. It's accepting that and moving forward with it. Now we do also have a 6 of Cups. Now this can represent somebody from your past. It can represent children. It can represent, you know, a past love. It can represent a soulmate. It can represent somebody from a past life. But it's somebody that you love. And this is suggesting that, you know, you've had, your heart knows them, your soul knows them. Very much an energy of happiness, an energy of nostalgia, an energy of, you know, complete and utter love and happy. But like I say, it's something to do with your past. So this is potentially embracing somebody or something from your past. It could just be embracing a soulmate. Like I say, it could have something to do with children and embracing potentially something to do with your children. Like I say here with this Queen of Junk, if you've been disinterested in family life, this is suggesting that, you know, you rekindle that family life or you get re-involved with your children. This is very much, you know, offering a peace gift, being happy with children, you know, remembrance, peace offerings kind of thing. And it's very much the past returning to your present. So embracing things from the past, you know, embracing the happiness from the past, embracing the good things from your past, not living in nostalgia. You've got to let whatever it is from the past that you're holding on to, you do need to release and embrace the happiness. Now, it could very well be that something's happened. Potentially you may have been caught in the act, or someone else was caught in the act and clarity is needed. But, you know, either you or them, I'm assuming this is you, are very much holding on to keeping this a secret. And it could very much be that you need to revisit that and release it and come clean in order to move forward, and see the past in a better light. Like I say, this can represent your past itself, a person from your past, children. It could be your childhood. It could be a soulmate or somebody, you know, from a past life that you need to embrace. It could be that you're looking at potentially rekindling something, or, you know, maybe somebody, a childhood sweetheart comes back, or it could just be that, like I say, it could have something to do with children. But yeah, this is very much you needing to release something that you've been holding on to. And I've got a good feeling that it's things that you're holding on to, truths potentially that you're not telling yourself, truths that you might not be telling other people. Very much owning it, releasing it, so that you can have that successful transition. And if you want something to come back from the past, then you may very well have a more successful venture with that coming back from the past. It could then put you in line to actually have, you know, your soulmate come in for you. Right, so let's get you get you a spirit, not a spirit, an angel of light card to see if there's any more messages that spirit want to convey for you. I really do love these cards. I think that death card's very pretty. My monitor doesn't do justice to it. That moon card's awesome too. But yeah, the camera definitely doesn't do justice to these. And if you really look, there's Fizzgig. Fizzgig is awesome. I love saying that word as well. Absolutely amazing. Love that judgment card. So many fun cards in that deck. Right, let's get you Angel of Light card. The Empress and the Emperor confuse me though. But hey ho. Right, can we get an Angel of Light card please for Leo? Communication. So that'll be to do with that Seven of Swords. The angels remind you that being spiritual is about being genuine and honest. When you speak from the heart, others feel the resonance of truth and trust you. Talk positively, focus on the good in life, and you will feel happier and healthier. Again, that's to do with that Six of Cups. So speaking your truth and what's good in your life, even if it's just to yourself. Communication is a two-way process. Listen with interest and respond openly. This will improve all relationships. Communicate consistently with Source using prayer, which is asking, meditation, which is listening. Always keep channels of communication open. Be a bridge to others' hearts and minds. Ask your angels to step into your aura and communicate in a higher way through you. Your affirmation: I communicate clearly and honestly. Yeah, so make sure that all communication is done in a very clear way, but it's consistent, and make sure that you're listening as well as speaking, because communication doesn't work if it's only one way. Right, I hope you enjoyed your reading today, Leo. If you did enjoy your reading, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. I wish you all the luck with your healing journey. Thank you very much for joining me.